Okay, good afternoon YouTube and welcome to Fat Cat Collections. Today we're going to be doing another watch review by Invicta. And I was able to get my hands on 3 watches that I have fortunately and unfortunately gotten my coworkers addicted to these things, as I am addicted to the Invicta watches. And my good buddy John from work actually let me borrow a couple of his watches that he has in his collection that I do not have. And now I've seen this watch before because I sized this watch for him, and he was nice enough to let me borrow him for the weekend. Providing I take good care of them. So with that being said, that's definitely not an issue. So John, thank you so much for your generosity letting me borrow your watches here for the weekend to do these reviews. I just wanted to share this watch with my subscribers and the world. Now, any of you who have watched my channel before know that I am obsessed with Invicta watches, and I absolutely love the Grand Arsenal watch or Grand Octane watch. Depending on where you buy it, it is the same watch. And I go into that spiel quite a bit when I talk about this watch because the watch itself doesn't actually have that name on the watch. It actually doesn't even have a name. So it's gone by many different names. Those are the 2 you'll find out on the internet, of course, when you're shopping for this. But what's interesting is that they just call this from Invicta as a reserve model. And the only way to really find it is by the model number. So again, let's talk a little bit about this watch. And anybody who's seen my videos already know that I don't go too much into detail. Although some of my subscribers, which were up to about 2,500, thank you so much. It's been really fun sharing this passion of mine with you guys. But remember, subscribers, I know that my spiel kind of gets a little old sometimes when I go off in the beginning of my videos, and generally some people say they like to skip through. But remember that primarily most of my views don't come from my subscribers. Now hopefully one day that'll change, but as of right now, the bulk of my views, a good 80% of them, comes from, I'd say more than 80% of them, comes from actually people searching YouTube and people finding me on the internet and stuff like that. So I have to kind of appease to the bulk of people right now. But subscribers, I am listening. I do appreciate the feedback, but for now, this is what we're going to keep doing. So let's move forward. Let's talk about this one here. Again, this is the Invicta Grand Arsenal or Grand Octane, depending on where you buy it. This is the full-size model. They do make a smaller model in a 48, I believe, is the bezel measurement on the smaller model. This one here is measuring 58, and of course with your crown and pushers, you're looking at about 63. This is a massive watch. This is the second biggest watch that Invicta makes to date, and again, it is my favorite. I have not seen a watch anywhere that looks like this watch, that you get this much watch for the money. It's absolutely amazing, and I intend to one day have one in every color. I personally own 4 of these. This one is done in a gunmetal, which I actually don't have any gunmetal. I'm more of a flashier kind of watch guy, but I do really appreciate the gunmetal, and I'm not saying I wouldn't get one. I may get one down the road. We'll just have to see, because I do like the full gold. My buddy just picked up, check out the other video. It's going to be uploaded at the same time. This is the Invicta Grand Arsenal Coalition Forces model. That one is just, it's amazing. The face, what they've done with it is just absolutely breathtaking. But let's go back to what we're talking about here. So this one here again, as far as the color combo, you can see it's done in rose tone and the gunmetal. The model number in this one here is the 13046, and they call this face blue. Now, when you look at it, I know by the video you're going to think that's probably black, but it is kind of a dark navy blue. It's an interesting color combo. The face of this one here is actually done in kind of like a, I know you're not going to be able to see this, but there is a texturing to the face, which isn't carbon fiber. It has kind of a carbon fiber look. I wouldn't say that it's more of like kind of scallops inside, kind of across the entire, I'm trying to compare it to something, maybe like, it's hard for me to really compare that. I want to say like an old book, but it's not. It's much more uniform than that. As far as the movement on this particular one, this is done with the Swiss Ronda 8040N, where you have the retrograde, I believe that's the right term for it, day of the week. So it gets to Sunday, then it snaps all the way back to Monday. Is that right? Yes, I'm sorry. Gets to Saturday, then it snaps all the way back to Sunday. Excuse me. Then you have your traditional chronograph, of course. This is one of my favorite movements that Invicta makes. I do love the way that looks when you hit, Saturday night at midnight and it snaps back. Although most time I'm sleeping, but it's still pretty cool looking. It is a very nice looking face, in my opinion. Again, on this one here, you have the navy, really deep navy blue color with that texture. You can kind of see the texture a little bit there on this angle. And then you have your rose tone around the face, rose tone matte finish bezel, and rose tone matte finish pushers and crown. Then, of course, the Invicta Grand Arsenals always have the polishing down the middle. This one's done again in the rose tone. Then you have your matte finish gunmetal. This is a really nice looking watch. Really nice looking color combo, and it's definitely something I'll have to pick up in the future. A little bit more about the watch. 660 feet of water resistance. You have your flame fusion crystal, of course, and you have 9¼ inches of bracelet length and 30 millimeters in bracelet width. This is a huge watch. This is a 19 millimeter in thickness watch. You'll find it listed on some sites as 17. I think they're going on the bezel on that. If you take it from the very top of these decorative hex nuts, it is a 19, okay? Beautiful, beautiful watch. No exhibition back on this one here. I don't think you really need it on a quartz watch, although some of the ones I have do have the exhibition back. I think it's kind of a waste to put one on there. Hopefully, one day they do something similar to like the Sea Hunter, where the exhibition back has, you know, something to look at. Like the Noma 5 has that kind of lattice work. The Sea Hunter has that furnace blue propeller. So I really think that's the only reason to put an exhibition back on a watch, because the quartz movement, there's really nothing to look at. So that's really about it for the watch. Like I said, I don't really go too much into the details about movement. Some folks commented the other day that I should really go into, like, you know, the caliber. I don't do that. Look it up on your own. What you really came to see is what this watch looks like on the wrist. And that's the most important factor when trying to buy a watch. It helped me tremendously, and I know it's helped many, many people. Hundreds of people have bought Invicta watches based on my videos, and I love hearing about it, guys. So without further ado, let's throw it on the wrist. Now, I am about 5 foot 8 inches tall. I have a 7-inch wrist, and I weigh about 170 pounds. So all these watches look really big on me, for sure. So let me just first show you like that. And I will get up and kind of get back a little bit. The lighting here is not great. There's nothing I can really do about it. I bring that up in every video too. I have lights on. I have 5 monitors with light coming on me and natural light coming in. It just looks washed out here. There's nothing I can do about it. But let's face it, who really cares how I look? This is what you want to see right here. That's why you're watching the video, for how this baby looks. So let me get a little closer for you. Now this one is sized a little bit larger because my coworker is a bigger guy than me, and his wrists are a little bit bigger. So I think he has about 7.5-inch wrists, so it is a little floppy. I generally wear my watches tighter, so they don't flop around. He likes them a little looser, but this is very loose on me. But it still works for the purpose of the video. That gunmetal rose tone's a really nice contrast. I'm going to get back a little bit here, so you can see what it looks like from a distance. I mean, Invicta lovers, for my subscribers, for anybody new to these videos who have not seen my videos before, if you like Invicta watches and you've picked up a watch based on my recommendation, maybe you're new to the big watch theme, this is a big watch. So if you've never worn a watch this big, I would urge you to maybe try getting involved into a 50mm first. Invicta makes many, many 50mm watches, and 50 is a great size, but once you step up, if you like the big watch, this is a watch you have to get in your collection. Fellas, even if you're a guy who likes Nixon watches, or you're a guy who has never discovered Invicta watches before, and you come across this video, you owe it to yourself to get this watch. These watches range in price from about depending on the sales and holidays, I've seen them as low as like $270, all the way up to about $800 depending on the model. Fair price on these is going to be about $300 to $400. Again, it depends on availability. Invicta, you'll see the price fluctuates quite a bit. You'll see, and they have a huge MSRP. And I think that really just comes down to, like, it's just like when you buy a car. You have the MSRP, and it just gives vendors room to work. I don't know. It's all perception. You know what I mean? But if you like big watches and you don't have this watch in your collection, you owe it to yourself to get it. Because I have to tell you, I have over 60 watches, maybe more now, and this is my absolute favorite watch. There is one exception, the Sea Hunter 3. That one's done in all stainless. It's even bigger than this. You basically have the diameter, but you have the 23mm thickness. It's a tank of a watch. But they only make it in the silver, which is great. I love the silver. However, if they ever come out with gold, and if they ever come out with a two-tone rose and yellow gold, you guys know I absolutely love that color combo, I will have to get it. Alright, let me get my chair back here. Come on back to you. So there it is, folks. Again, that was the Man, I gotta check this again here. It's the 13046 Invicta Grand Arsenal. And again, if you like the way the watch looks and you're like, man, I just don't think I can do a watch that big, get the standard Arsenal. You'll save about $100 and it still looks just as good. The color combos may vary a little bit, but you're still getting a beautiful watch for the money. I mean, and to be honest with you, I mean, I have a couple that I paid, depending on availability, I paid $400 for. Some I paid about $280 for. Again, depends totally on, I think Invicta kind of has a run of watches, and then you can't find them anymore, and then when you want them, you're like, shoot, I should have got it, and then the price goes up, and you're like, all right, I'm just going to get it, and then they come back. So when you see those good deals, definitely get it. Check out my website, PHATKATWatches.com. That's where I have direct links from the videos to my website where you can find these exact watches from the best sellers, and of course, where you're not getting ripped off, you're getting a very fair deal. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you like the content. If you're passionate about watches, or specifically Invicta watches, definitely subscribe to the channel. A lot more cologne reviews coming up, a lot more watch reviews coming up. And as always, folks, thank you so much for watching. And remember, also check out my Facebook page as well. That's Fat Cat Watches. Where go ahead and friend request me, and it's great because we have a lot of people share their purchases and pictures that I don't necessarily put up on the internet. So it's really great to kind of see it on other people's wrists as well. So there it is, folks. Grand Arsenal watch by Invicta 13046. As always, folks, have a great day.